Hi, welcome to Books with Lexi. I'm so excited because in this video, I'm going to be reading 5-star predictions. So a couple weeks ago, I did a video where I talked about 10 books that I think I will give 5 stars. So in this video, I'm going to be reading as many of them as I can in a week. If you are not aware, I am participating in and co-hosting a super fun readathon called Battleathon in September. The higher you rate books, the more points you get. So I always want to read books that I want to read, but I really wanted to focus on 5-star predictions this week. Battleathon is hosted by my wonderful friend Mel from Mel Lenore Reads, and I'm so excited because I have the best team co-host with me, Cassidy from Covers with Cassidy. So it's not too late to join. Join Team Red. Everything is linked in the description for you. Also, both Cass and Mel were reading 5-star predictions this week as well, so I will have their vlogs linked for you. So that's all you need to know. I'm reading 5-star predictions. I hope you enjoyed this video, so let's get into the reading. It is Monday afternoon. I just got home. I had to go to PetSmart because we're having some issues with cats. Took this one with me. He got a little toy, and I am listening to None of This Is True by Lisa Jewell. I am 66 pages in, so not super far, but I am enjoying this and I wanted to check in. I went to an event with Lisa Jewell a couple weeks ago, so I have a signed copy, which is really exciting. She's very funny and very cool. My history with Lisa Jewell is interesting. I think I've given 2 of her books 2 stars. I've given a couple of them 4 stars, and then I've given the most recent one I read the night she disappeared, or that night she disappeared, I don't know, 5 stars. So she's a risky author to be predicting that this book will be 5 stars, but with everything I've been hearing about it, like, I don't know, it just felt right. So I was listening to that in the car. I stopped at Dunkin'. I had a reward, so I got this gigantic drink. I forget what it is. I took the thing off because it was bothering me, but it is the cocoa mocha signature iced latte. I was hoping it would taste like chocolate. It's pretty decent. I'm not really a big coffee fan, and I need to mix in the whipped cream. And I added liquid sugar as well because that's who I am as a person. But today I need to do some cleaning, specifically the cat situation. It's just been a pain, such a pain. But I have the audiobook of this, which I will be able to get through whenever I do that. I just want to do some cleaning in general. I've just been feeling kind of overwhelmed with the amount of like things that need cleaned. It's just, I don't know. I'm somebody that I get overwhelmed by things and then I ignore those things and then it gets even worse and I get more overwhelmed and it's just like a bad cycle until I eventually snap and then like go very hard on cleaning. And I'm trying to get to the point where I don't have to like obsessively clean and I can just like clean things as needed, which is how it should be. But you know, that's just not who I am. Both Adam and I are the same way. Like, we don't really want to be doing these things, so we just like wait and let things get bad. So that is something that I have to deal with now. So I got this, 1, because it was free, 2, to make me feel better. I have so much reading I want to do this week, so I figured, you know, this would be a good time to do it because I have audiobooks for a lot of the things that I plan on getting to this week. Speaking of the audiobook, this has a podcast in it, so we are following Josie, and she is kind of down on her luck, and she is going to a bar to celebrate her 45th birthday, and she runs into this woman who is also turning 45. They share a birthday. They end up speaking to each other, and Alex is a famous podcaster. Well, she's not that famous. Like, she has like 8,000 Instagram followers, which really is not a famous podcaster, but whatever. And Josie decides that she wants to be on Alex's podcast. Normally, Alex does podcast episodes about these successful women and how they got to where they are. And Josie approaches her and was like, she kind of stalks her to approach her. And she's like, hey, I know you normally interview already successful women, but I am about to change my life. And I have some like secrets that could make this really interesting. So even though Alex has like some bad vibes about this, she's like, let's do it. So where I am right now, we are just getting like weird glimpses into Josie's life. We're seeing them interact and start to do the podcast recording. Josie has 2 kids. She's living with her husband, who she's been dating since she was 15 and he was 45. So hate that. The audiobook, which is why I started talking about the book again. Not that I wouldn't have, because this is a booktube channel. Anyway, the very beginning of this, we are getting some information about this Netflix show coming in May called Hi, I'm Your Birthday Twin. And it is a podcast within a documentary following these characters. And the summer that ended with 2 people dead. So we know at the very beginning that things are going to go wrong. And we are getting some stuff about the Netflix series, like up here. And then also we are getting podcast recordings. I think that it's fun, and in the audiobook it sounds like it's a separate audio recording. I will say that there's one voice that is so quiet for some reason, and it's really bothering me. But other than that, I think it's a lot of fun. I'm really enjoying it so far. I feel like this kind of thriller isn't one that I can like confidently say it's going to be 5 stars this early on, but I am enjoying it. I'm looking forward to reading it. So I'm going to get to reading and cleaning, which I don't want to do. I do want to do the reading part, so hopefully that'll make it a little bit better. I am going to drink this. I have a problem with chugging drinks on accident, so if I come back and I talk to you later and I'm a little hyped up, that'll be why. I am now 45% into None of This Is True. It is, what time is it? I don't know. It's like 8:30 on Monday. I'm on Battleathon sprints and I am 45% into this. I just got to part 2 and I'm really enjoying this. So this is for sure a domestic thriller. It is following 2 couples and also dealing with their like marriage issues and their family issues. But the main focus is this kind of friendship, kind of weird working partnership situation between our 2 main characters. And I think that like friendship dynamics are super interesting in thrillers. So Josie sees Alex as a friend. She wants to tell her secrets to her. She like wants to be her. Like, that's not really great friendship. And then Alex sees it more as like just she wants to know her story, and she sees it as like a business thing, but there's still like this pull that she is feeling towards Josie, and it's just very interesting. I have so many questions that I cannot wait to get the answers to. I have some theories, specifically about Josie's family. I just think that stuff is so interesting, and I like Josie's dynamic more, like family dynamic, more than Alex's. Hers is just like a little more boring. But I'm still interested in everything. It is not too focused on one family that I'm like losing interest, because still the main focus is Josie and Alex and their relationship, and then like learning about each other through the other person. So I'm having a really good time with it. I have no real complaints. This is one that is feeling like 4 stars, could be 5 stars though. So I'm having a great time. I don't know. Okay, I just saw that there's part 4. So I'm not sure when I'm going to check in later. I generally do check-ins at 1/3, 2/3 in the end. But in this video, I kind of want to just check in when it feels natural, either with like I just have a break and it is easy for me to give you an update, or if I like stop at a good stopping point, or if something just comes up that I want to talk to you about. So there's behind the scenes stuff that most people probably don't care about, but for those that do care, that is what I'm trying to do in this vlog, make it feel a little more natural. I'm just like experimenting with like how I do things in videos, so this is something that I'm trying. So I mean, it's probably too early on in this video, but if you have any thoughts on this style versus my usual like more rigid, what am I saying, type of vlogs, let me know. But I am going to get back to reading. I Still have more cleaning to do, so I might do some of that. I might not. I might do diamond painting. I don't know. I'll let you know once I have read more, but I'm very interested to see how this continues to go, and I'm having a really good time with it. I just got to part 3 of None of This Is True, which is on page 267, and I am just very, very intrigued by this. Not else like plot-wise to tell you about has happened. I mean, things have happened, and like certain things, like I just want to throw up. Like people's reactions to things. So it really feels like we have an unreliable narrator situation in here. And like the thing is that if some things that have been discussed have happened, like I hate it. If they haven't happened, I still hate that that has been like told to us to I can't talk about that without spoiling things. But like I hate it in a way that I hate the character in a good way. Like so messed up. No matter what's going on, it's so messed up and like I kind of hate it. But also I'm so intrigued. Like I constantly want to know what's going on. And like the characters are making me so mad. And by the characters I mean the one character. Well, kind of two characters, but like ugh. Oh my gosh. That all sounded very negative, but I'm loving this book. This is the kind of domestic thriller that I want. There is some marriage stuff in here, but it just focuses more on like people's relationships with each other, not specifically people that like should just get a divorce. And like, yeah, there is that in here as well, but it's not like the focus, you know? So I cannot wait to finish this and I will talk to you then. I have finished None of This Is True and I ended up really loving this. I was so invested. Like, I forgot I was listening to a book, which I feel like that doesn't normally happen to me. This is going to be 5 stars, so look at me go. I just, there were so many things that happened and so many interesting dynamics, and then just like so many awful things. Like, things were so messed up, and like you never knew what to believe. And to me, this like is not the most unique, the most groundbreaking thriller, but I think it was done really well. I think that it led to some interesting discussions in the book and then things to think about outside of it. I love the podcast element. I liked the Netflix show about the podcast element. Like there were always interesting things going on to keep my attention, even though it is a little more slow moving and more domestic than I usually read. But I think it is just like a testament to how well it is done and also how interesting and disturbing some of the characters were. So I'm so glad I loved this because I have the signed copy and because of my history with this author. I'm really glad that I got a signed copy and got to see her talk about this book. If you have read this, at her event, she said that the very, very, very end is true. If you've read it and want that information. I mean, you can obviously interpret it as you want, but she wasn't meaning for it to be up to interpretation at all. So there's that information. Yeah, I'm so glad that I read this. I'm so glad I was correct because I want all the points for my team. And obviously, I want to love the books I'm reading. This actually is my first 5-star book this month, which I have been needing because I've been reading a lot of books. It is currently midnight. I guess it's now Tuesday, but I'm getting ready to go to bed. I'm not sure what I'm going to pick up tomorrow, but I'm very excited. Like, I feel like I'm on a roll. Hopefully, I'm not jinxing myself, but I'm excited for whatever I pick up next. You want to go to the store? You want to go with me? Sit. Sit. Take it. What do you have? What do you have? Hello, it is Tuesday afternoon and I was reading for another video this morning, but I'm excited to get back into reading 5-star predictions. So today I am starting with Starter Villain by John Scalzi. If you saw my 5-star prediction video, you will know that the most recent book that I read from him, the Kaiju Preservation Society. I gave 4 stars. I really enjoyed it. And I have read, I don't know if it's a novella, but The Dispatcher by John Scalzi. And that is my full extent of reading relationship with John Scalzi. I have met him. This is an ARC that I got at a book festival, and it is signed. So that's really fun. I am now on chapter 9, which is 78 pages in, and so far I'm enjoying it. I think comparing it to the Kaiju Preservation Society, I was liking that one a little more at this point, but that's because there was a level of like me learning about the world as the character learned about the world, and our character is learning about something new, but like not a whole new world. So we are following Charlie, and he's divorced and he has no money. He's trying to turn his life around, but he's denied the loan. He wants all this stuff. Then someone shows up at his house and is like, your very rich uncle has died. I need you to stand in at his funeral because he doesn't have anybody else. Charlie's mom died, and his mom was siblings with his uncle. And we know from the synopsis that his uncle was a supervillain and owned this business. Where I am right now, he has just found out about that and got to the island volcano lair that is mentioned on the back. So right now I am enjoying it, but everything that has happened is just an expanded version of the synopsis. There's been nothing new that we're learning. So there's not anything that's really keeping my attention, but I am interested. I mean, obviously cats, you know, these cats can type. It is quirky and funny like the Kaiju Preservation Society. For me, his writing is very similar to Andy Weir's. Just like the style, the humor, the characters. But I am really enjoying it. If I had to rate it at this exact moment, I would say 4 stars, but there's obviously still room to change since I'm not super far in. This is a fairly quick one, so I intend to finish it today. I did get the audiobook. It's on Audible exclusive, which is really annoying, but I have 3 months of Audible for 99 cents a month, which is nuts. So I just used a credit on it, even though I don't typically use credits on an audiobook that's 8 hours long. I'm doing all the cleaning and stuff still, so I just wanted something to listen to, and I wanted to break up all the thrillers I've been reading recently, because the book I will be reading after this is Strange Sally Diamond, so I just wanted a little bit of a break, so I decided to get that. I've been cleaning my carpet. It's not a fun time, but that's what I've been doing. I'm slowly cleaning the room up here. I've also been doing my diamond painting. I have a little section to finish, and then I'm like halfway done, so I will show you that. But I'm having a really good time with this, and at this point I think it could still end up being 5 stars, which is wonderful. So I'm gonna get back to this and I will talk to you later. It has been very busy today. I cleaned some of the carpet. I forgot I had to do a grocery pickup, so I had to do that, and before I did that I had to drop off a bunch of clothes that I had in my car to donate. So I did that, unloaded everything, and I am now chapter 17, which is 150 pages into Starter Villain, and I'm still enjoying this, but I'm pretty confident this is going to be 4 stars. I was liking the Kaiju Preservation Society more than I'm liking this one, but they're still pretty close, and I did give that one 4 stars. So I think this would have to have like a mind-blowing end to be 5 stars, which it's not going to, and that's totally fine. Like, for what it is, I'm having a great time with it. I'm enjoying it. I don't think that it needs to change. So I have like 110 pages left. I'm not quite 2/3 in, but I figured now would be a good time to check in with you, and then I'm just going to finish it and come back later. So yeah, not going to be 5 stars, but I am having a good time with it, so I wanted to check in while I had the opportunity to, and I'm going to finish, and I will talk to you later. I have finished Starter Villain, and I'm going to give this 4 stars. I will say that I did not like it as much as the Kaiju Preservation Society, but that's just because one of my favorite things in sci-fi is like learning about new worlds and seeing characters maybe like do research and stuff. I don't know. I don't really know. And there's like a little bit of that in here because obviously our main character is not really aware of villains and this whole community and company that his uncle has built and everything. But I think this was a lot of fun. I will continue to read from John Scalzi, especially if they are more like quirky sci-fi. I know I keep talking about Andy Weir, but it very much reminds me of his books. I think this was a very fun concept. I think like having cats who can type and dolphins who can communicate by speaking their language into a microphone and it translating to you is really interesting. That's on the back. There's action in here. There's a lot of commentary on things like corporations and just a whole bunch of stuff, really. And I enjoyed all of that. This was a fun time. It just was not an all-time favorite for me, but 4 stars I'm very happy with. So I'm super excited that I have this signed copy. I'm not sure if I'm going to go back and read any of his other stuff. It just depends. I might have to look into it and see if they are the same like style of writing or if they're different, because if they're this style, I will probably go back and read them, but if not, I don't think I will. Well, I might try the Locked In series. I am interested in that one, but Old Man's War, that does not sound fun to me. So this is done. I have been doing diamond painting. I've been doing a little bit of like video organizing, like organizing all of my clips because I'm in the middle of so many videos because of reading all these books from my shelves. Like it just works out that I have to read from the library at certain times and like things just aren't available so that I can read 3 books for a video in a row. This video will be more than 3 books because I'm already on to Strange Sally Diamond. I just got to the end of part 1. There's 3 parts, so my plan is to talk to you at the end of each part. So I will talk to you about this in a minute. I have to make my little video for None of This Is True and what is it called? Starter Villain. My brain is starting to shut down. And also edit a video. So I think I'm gonna go make those little real TikTok short situations for None of This Is True and Starter Villain. Then I'm gonna come back and talk to you about the first part of Strange Sally Diamond, and then I'm gonna edit. So big plans, and by big plans I just mean I'm busy. Oh, also I think Kitty's sprints start in half an hour for Battleathon. So I will probably be there. We'll see how it goes. I have a lot of things happening, so I'll talk to you in a little bit. I am, I believe, 15% into Strange Sally Diamond. I just got to part 2, which is 67 pages in, and this is quite an interesting one so far. And I think I'm enjoying it, but also not a lot has happened. Also, I'm only 67 pages in, so it's hard to have like a true opinion at this point. So we are following Sally Diamond, and her father passes away, and she decides to cremate him. This happens like immediately. He is sick and dies, and he makes a comment about like, oh, just burn me with the trash when I die. And she doesn't get things like this and didn't realize that it was not a literal statement. So she does that and brings an investigation on because they're like, well, clearly you murdered him if you're burning his body. And then he has like left her these notes since he knows he's sick, he is like, well, I've died, so here's this information you need to know. But he's like, you have to read it like 3 weeks apart. So the first week she's supposed to read this one letter, and then the next week she gets more information and stuff. And I guess it's just to help her process things. But like then something comes up where she needs to read the last letter. And that is how part 1 ends. She doesn't have any memories before the age of 7, and because of the situation with her dad, she now is in the spotlight, and it's coming to light that something happened to her when she was a kid, but she doesn't know what it is. I'm assuming that's what the letter says. People are like calling her Strange Sally Diamond. It's so weird because like someone from her past like wrote her a letter or emailed her or something, and literally they were like, yeah, you're so weird. I'm like, you've always been so weird. I'm not surprised that you did this because you're just so weird. And I'm like, even if someone is weird, you don't just be like, yeah, once a weirdo, always a weirdo when you're talking to them. I don't know, it's just odd. But a stranger sends her a familiar teddy bear. She doesn't know why it's familiar, but then like something comes up and they're like, don't touch it, it could be evidence. And you're like, also, this stuff is all in the synopsis. And then I haven't read any of it, but part 2 is told in 1974 from the perspective of someone named Peter. So I don't know anything about that. It says it's alternating perspectives. So I'm very curious what that is going to entail. I am enjoying this so far. I think that there's going to be a lot of interesting stuff happening in here, and I'm really liking it so far. I'm not completely obsessed, but I feel like it's so hard to be completely obsessed this early on with a slow moving thriller like this. So it is almost 10 o'clock. I didn't really do anything I said I was going to do yet, so I need to do that. I need to make sure my comforter is dry because it was not earlier. And I really just want to do more diamond painting, but like I need to edit so I can post a video tomorrow because it's been a week and YouTube will yell at me. And like I have a bunch of videos almost done or done. I just don't feel like editing because I've been wanting to read or feeling pressured to read because of this 30 books challenge. Sorry, I'm flipping through this to see when part 3 starts. Okay, so this is part 1 here. This in the middle is part 2, and then part 3. So this will be the largest chunk, but I'm still gonna wait until the end of that to talk to you again. I do need to post another reel tonight for None of This Is True. I posted the one for just another missing person or something like that this morning, and since I'm behind, I need to post more than one a day sometimes, so I need to do that, and then I can post Starter Villain tomorrow. I'm just feeling very behind. Also, I did reorganize a little bit of my TBR shelf. So I only have books on those top 3, these 3, and then the ones I'm reading this month are over on my shelf around the corner. And then those ones are library books. Hey, Winston. So I did that. Sorry I didn't show you, but now I have a cat that wants to sit with me, so I'm gonna cuddle with him. And I'll talk to you probably tomorrow once I'm through part 2 of Strange Sally Diamond. Hello, it is 11:30 p.m. on Wednesday. Today was a busy day, but also a kind of relaxing day. I didn't read as much as I anticipated, so I did a little editing this morning, and then I was having issues with my editing software, driving me nuts. And then I went to the library to pick up 2 books. They're over there, but they were 2 thrillers. And then I also had to go to the bookstore to pick up a pre-order. So I didn't plan on buying any books in September, but I already paid for this. So I went and I picked it up. It was supposed to be 37 minutes total from my house to the library to the bookstore, but from the library to the bookstore was like half an hour at least. Traffic was bad. It was a whole thing. So I'm not going to show you what I got from the library because I don't remember. But the pre-order was Alice in Borderland Volume 7, which if you have seen any of my videos since June, I've probably talked about Alice in Borderland. This is manga, but it is my favorite series. Like, I can't commit to this being my favorite book because they feel different than like typical novels to me, but the story in this series is my favorite. It's my favorite. If this was written initially as a novel, I think it would be my favorite of all time. Like, that's how obsessed I am. So I obviously read this today. It was a 5-star prediction. I have read it and I did give it 5 stars. I'm holding it upside down. So I can't tell you what happens in this one, but we are following different characters as they are trying to navigate Borderland. These characters find themselves transported to like an alternate version of their world, and they are forced to compete in these games to earn visas to keep surviving, to keep playing in these games. Nobody knows why, nobody knows how they got there. It's so interesting. There's all these different games that they're playing. There's all these different like psychological aspects to all of this. The characters are great. The games are great. It is high stress, so much tension, very interesting, a lot of fun. Like, oh my God, I'm obsessed. So, Volume 7 is a continuation of everything that's happened in the first 6 volumes, obviously. This is the third from the last, so there's 9 volumes. The last 2 are not out yet. One will come out in December, and then I think the other one comes out in March, because they've been coming out every 3 months. This almost had me in tears. Like, oh my God. And this follows, like, not even the main characters. So I love this series so much. Even if you're not into manga, I would still really recommend it. I do read some, but generally, like, I don't prefer manga to like novels or anything. But this series, it is everything. So I did read this. It was a 5-star prediction, and it was 5 stars. So that is incredible. There's no world that this would get less than 5 stars anyway. Like, this doesn't even have the main character in it, and it was still 5 stars. So very happy I read this. Sad I have to wait for the rest of them, but I love it. I love it so much. Also, highly recommend the show on Netflix if you watch TV. Okay, so updates for you. I am 39% into Strange Sally Diamond. I am on page 130. I have not gotten to part 2 yet, so I'm not really gonna talk about this, but I am loving this. Very dark, very disturbing, so good. And then also, I have started Paradise Club by Tim Meyer. I actually started this past weekend when I was on a beach vacation with my sisters and my nephew, and I only read like 20 pages, so like, you know. But this is also separated into 3 parts, and I just got through part 1, so I figured I would talk to you about this now and then check in at the end of part 2 and then at the very end. So we are following our main character Elliot, and he is an FBI agent, and his family kind of all hate him. He prioritizes his job, he puts himself at risk and doesn't think about them. His wife is really over it, and they take this vacation, him and his son and his daughter and his wife, and it is at the Paradise Club. It's a resort, but the catch is to get there you have to surrender your phones. And then it ends up that they are part of a dangerous game pitting the hotel's guests against a gang of bloodthirsty maniacs. I love games and books, Exhibit A, and the end of part 1 is the beginning of the games. I will say that I do have some issues with the writing. It's not terrible, but there are just things that I've been noticing when reading. At the moment, I can't think of any of them, but there are things. And then there's a character in here that I hate with everything in me, but like, things that they are saying are questions. It's not like the author just sucks, but like, ugh, irritating. But anyway, I'm very interested in the game part. It's about to start. We are following a couple different characters in the first part, and then just like flipping through, it looks like we're gonna get a couple other ones, which I think could be fun. We could get different perspectives of people participating in different aspects. So very much enjoying this. Not sure my final rating, obviously, but it's feeling like it's gonna be at least 4 stars. So like, this is such a good reading week. I'm having the best time. I am feeling a little burnt out, just with my overcommitment to things in September. The 30 books in 30 days thing is too much, honestly. Reading 30 books in 30 days is not too much, but making short form content about all of it and making my long form content still, like I have to edit, I have to exist as a person outside of my channel as well. Like I can't just ignore everything at all times, and I don't want to, but like things, I don't have enough time in the day for everything that I want to do. So that has been difficult, but also really good. I'm happy with how things are going, even though I'm kind of failing, but that's okay. So I think my plan is to listen to some more of Strange Sally Diamond. I might do a little bit of diamond painting. Just realized that because I just want to finish that section. I think I talked about it yesterday, saying that I was going to show you once I got to halfway. I still have not finished that part because I haven't done anything with that today. I'm going to talk to you tomorrow because part 2 in Strange Sally Diamond is the biggest part of the book. This is my top priority, and then it will be this. So I'm going to finish this one and talk to you first before I get back to Paradise Club. I have high hopes. I'm looking at my shelves over there. I still want to read Blanky, The Traveling Cat Chronicles, and Looking Glass Sound in this video. And don't have that many days left. So once again, being too ambitious, but what's new? So I'll talk to you tomorrow. Do you hear that? I'm assuming you do. I've been dealing with that all morning. Send help. Hello, it is Thursday. It is 12 o'clock. I have been reading a little this morning, but I haven't checked in, one, because I've been feeling kind of lazy, and two, because my neighbor's car, so where I live, you can park on the street, and then we also have driveways, and my neighbor, in the middle of the night, their car got hit. I looked and I didn't see any damage, but whatever. So they're building an extension to their driveway. So I was listening to that all day, but I have some updates. So first, I have started Penance by Kanai Minato. Here's the situation. Is that a dead? There's a dead bug in here. Like a little gnat squished in my book. Cool. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh, so I was listening to Strange Sally Diamond last night, and I got to the end of part 2, which was my goal, and then I wanted to update you, but I was doing my diamond painting and I just had a little bit left of the section to get to halfway. So I was like, you know, I'm just gonna switch to another book because I didn't want to update. I just wanted to finish the diamond painting. So that is why I switched. This morning I got to the end of the second story. So sorry this is all over the place, but this is how my general reading week is. So today I want to finish Strange Sally Diamond. This is for sure going to happen. I have like 40 minutes left of the audiobook to finish this. I also want to finish Penance. This is a pretty short one. I have the audiobook for it, and I think it would be like less than 2 hours to finish it. And then tonight is my book club sprints. This is not my book club pick, but I will be reading it on sprints tonight, I think. And really, I would like to finish this. It is a quick read, so it is possible, and I don't think I'm being too ambitious, but I think it is doable to finish all of these today. If that happens, I also would like to read Blanky by Keelan Patrick Burke. Listen, I know you're sitting there thinking there's no way I'm going to do any of this, and like logically I know that, but I'm so ambitious, it's ridiculous. So like I think I can read 4 books every day. And then and then tomorrow I want to read The Traveling Cat Chronicles and Looking Glass Sound. So like welcome to my delusional little pea brain, because like why? Okay, so anyway, the books I'm actually currently reading. I have no update on Paradise Club. So Strange Sally Diamond, I am at part 3, and that starts on page 251. Part 2 was a large chunk of the book. I can't remember. I literally can't find it. Oh, there it is. Okay. Part 1, part 2, part 3. So, am I okay? I'm obsessed with this. I think it is so interesting. It is so messed up. It is really slow, but it is psychological, and I like slow if it is psychological. If it is slow and domestic, no. If it is slow and I don't know, really, that's the only issue I have. If it's a slow book and it's a domestic book, no, no, no. But this, so interesting. Oh my God. I can't talk about a lot of it. I mean, okay, so certain things are implied. Like, you know that she's being addressed as Mary and all this stuff. So, like, clearly there's something that happened in her past. That stuff, okay. And then part 2 starts with the new perspective, Peter, who is in the synopsis, but then we're alternating stuff. That stuff makes me kind of want to throw up. Like, it is so messed up. And, like, a lot of the issues in here, they're not issues. I mean, they are issues, but not issues that I'm having with the book. Anyway, can you tell I'm very scatterbrained today? So this all deals with children. It is trauma that these children are going through, and like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Like, I don't know how to talk about this. It is extremely dark in both perspectives. Sally's perspective is her dealing with her childhood trauma as an adult and slowly remembering a few things, but also just like dealing with the things that happened to her, and how it impacted her current life. And then in Peter's perspective, oh God, he also is going through trauma, but it is very different. It's sad, but also like it makes me so angry, and I'm just like, don't you use your brain? Like, oh my God, it's so frustrating, but it's very interesting. It all, like, everything in this book is psychological. There's obviously things happening in the plot, but it's like, I I don't know, but I'm having, well, not a great time with it because that feels weird to say, but like, I'm really loving this. I anticipate it to be 5 stars. I think it's interesting and dark and disturbing, and psychological is like my favorite thing in books. I would not recommend this if you're looking for something fast-paced. If you only want fast-paced or ridiculous over-the-top things, which I love and recommend a lot, this is not that. This is more along the lines of stuff that Katrina Ward writes. The writing style is very different, but just like that kind of like slow moving, how many times can I say psychological book? So very much loving this. Really anticipate this to be 5 stars. I don't know what it could do that would not make it 5 stars, especially because there's not a huge chunk of the book left. So when we're done here, I'm going to finish this and come back and talk to you. And then also another book that is extremely psychological, Penance. And I just realized that I'm reading this for a different video. So I switched from this to Penance, which I am reading for a different video, so I'm not going to talk about it in this one, but that's what I did whenever I switched to from Strange Sally Diamond. So the 6 books that I want to read, 5 of them are for this video and 1 of them is not. Maybe question mark. 2 of them also could go in a different video with Penance, so we'll see how much I get done from this stack before this video gets posted. So okay, I'm gonna get back to this. Very excited to see how it ends. I'll check in with you soon. This is my diamond painting so far. I'm a little over halfway done, but happy with how it looks, and I'm excited to finish it. I have finished Strange Sally Diamond, and absolutely 5 stars. I think this is one of my favorites of the year. I think it was so interesting. It was very psychological, which is one of my favorite things. It was really disturbing and sad and messed up. It dealt some with like nature versus nurture. It dealt with so many kinds of trauma. It was just a very interesting read. There was no point where I was bored, even though not a lot of plot was happening. And I know that some people were saying they weren't sure if I was going to like this because of how slow it is. There were just so many things happening without things happening, you know? I was into it. Very dark, disturbing. A lot of the stuff in here deals with children, so if that is something that bothers you, I would look into specifics more. Yeah, it was I love this book. So good. I stand by the like Katrina Ward's psychological vibes. Also, this reminds me of The Quiet Tenant by Clemence Michelon, which I just read. I think that video is coming out right after this one. Yeah, so many interesting things to think about with this. And I would definitely recommend it if you like dark I wouldn't say it's a thriller. It's not really a mystery. Dark dramas? I'm not sure. I don't know, but it was incredible. So, 5 stars. This week is going so well for me. I think I've read 5 books at this point. One was not for this video, it was for another video that will be out soon. And then I'm also reading Penance, which will not be in this video, but I'm going to go to that next. And that will be the same video as the other book that I read earlier this week. I'm trying to do too many videos at once because of doing the 30 books in 30 days things. It's so chaotic. It's a lot of work. My neighbors are still out there. That is so funny. Literally, they just built a new driveway because somebody bumped into their car at night. Interesting. Wish I had that kind of money. So, so the next book in this video will be Paradise Club, I believe. I have 3 more books that I wanted to possibly get to that don't have audio, which is not great for my diamond painting. But I'm gonna read something, and I'll talk to you once I'm further into who knows what. If you hear some like background fuzzy stuff, my air fryer is on for my breakfast sandwich. Anyway, hello, welcome. It is Thursday morning. I did read yesterday, but a lot of it was for a different video. I finished Penance. And then last night I was reading more of Paradise Club, and I finished part 2 this morning. So I just got to part 3, which is the biggest chunk of the book. It is a little over halfway in, and I'm enjoying this. It is feeling like 4 stars. I love the game aspect of here, and I cannot wait to figure out what's behind it. I mean, we know certain things, but not everything. And then I'm very interested in other things that they've mentioned. There's some obvious commentary on rich people getting away with anything because they have money. And then there's been some interesting kills. All the bad guys are in costumes and have like weapons that match their stuff, and it's very interesting, and I'm having a really fun time with it. So we'll see how the rest goes. I don't really have much to say. I don't have super strong feelings, and that could be because I'm tired. I've been going to bed too late and waking up too early, so I'm like not getting the amount of sleep that I should because I'm trying to read and make content. And like I just overcommitted, but you know, it is what it is. I'm still having a fun time, so I'm going to finish this today. That is the plan. And also I want to read Blanky today. The annoying thing is that I don't have audiobooks for either this or Blanky. We'll see how it goes, but I cannot wait to see how this ends, and I'm having a really fun time with it. So even though it doesn't feel like 5 stars, like I'm still really happy with this likely being 4 stars at this point. I'm stressed out. Stop watching me. Okay.
And I love listening to it audibly, so I'm so excited.
Hello. If I look really tired, it's because I am really tired. It is 1:30, 1:20, 1:15. I don't know. I looked at the clock and I forget already. I just got off sprints a little bit ago for Battleathon. Oh my god. Oh my god. Just please look at this.
Oh my god. Oh.
What?
I came at the perfect time. Mr. Worldwide.
Oh, this is gold.
Oh my god.
Can I have an autograph?
It's fucking Mr. Worldwide. What do you mean?
It's me, Mr. Worldwide. Pitbull is here.
This is my life. This is who I am. It's like Hannah Montana, except like I'm low key Pitbull. Like I know you guys didn't know that, but like I'm low key Pitbull. Like just saying.
Oh my gosh. Well, this is probably my favorite moment ever.
So yeah, that was like one of the best moments of my life. Hilarious, so funny, incredible costume. So, things to talk to you about. I earlier finished Paradise Club. I'm going to give this 4 stars. It was a lot of fun. It was fast paced. It kept my attention. It had an interesting twist to it, but I think I wanted a little more from it. Not that I needed more explanation, but I needed more time with that stuff. So that's all I really have to say, because I can't tell you about that stuff. And then, like, other than that, it was just like slasher type stuff. This is all that I read today. I was planning on reading Blanky, but I listed some bookmarks on my Etsy, so that took some time. I have 2 fall ones. I have this pumpkin and like latte cinnamon leaves. Then I have this one, which is a book, a candle, coffee, glasses. So these are like the fall ones, and they're double-sided. And then I have some cat ones. I have this one that is cats on pumpkins, double-sided, and then I have these 2 that are matching. One is orange and one is white, and they are ghost cats. So if you're interested, that is linked in the description. But like, it took me a while to get everything listed for that. So I did that today. I was on sprints literally all day. Adam and I watched the new Ghost Files, which was fun. We did pause it partway through and take a nap. That was nice. So yes, finished Paradise Club, 4 stars. The plan for tomorrow, I have to read Ascension by Nicholas Binge for the Pyramid Book Club. Our discussion is on Sunday, and I have not read that. I don't think that's going to be 5 stars though, so I don't want to put it in this video, so I have to read for that separately. So I do want to get to Blanky tomorrow, but also this could go in a different video, so I might read the Traveling Cat Chronicles and sob my eyes out. So that's the plan for tomorrow. Today was just a long day. I got this room clean. I was on sprints, did more diamond painting. I really want to get that finished, but I was physically reading, didn't have an audiobook, so that's it. I'm going to go because I'm tired. I don't think I'm going to set an alarm for tomorrow. I've been going to bed so late and getting up early to try to get stuff done, and it's been like a detriment to me because I'm just tired at all times and don't have the focus to do things. So like, I'm awake and like thinking that I need to do things but not doing things. So I'm gonna like actually let myself get the sleep that I need tomorrow for once. And then I need to edit a lot of this video. It's way longer than my normal videos, and this is going out on Sunday. So I don't know what the plan is tomorrow, but I will talk to you once I figure it out. I am so annoyed because I filmed a whole thing telling you about everything today, and then I started reading this and nothing's saved. I don't know. I don't understand. So if you can tell, I have been crying. I am 8 pages into the Traveling Cat Chronicles, and this book is going to destroy me. So anyway, it is like 9 o'clock-ish on Saturday night. I thought I was going to get a lot more done today than I did because my editing software that I talked about earlier, there's a bug. Actually, there's a bunch of bugs in the new update, and it's taking me so long to edit anything, and there's a bunch of issues. So now I'm like exporting a bunch of stuff and deleting the software and trying to reinstall a version that I have from before. It's a whole thing, and like, I'm really upset about it. So while I'm waiting for that, I am reading this. This is going to be my last book in this video. I think it's gonna be the end of me in general, so, you know, I don't have any plans for updating you in this book. I'm just going to talk to you as it feels right. I have my Halloween cat blanket. I don't know if you can see anything. I have my real cat, one of the 2. I am recording an extended version of reading this book for Patreon. If you're interested in that, that'll be linked in the description. So I'm gonna get back to this, and I'm really scared. I just finished the prologue and have cried twice already. This is gonna be so rough. This is my update. He has his paw on me and it's so cute. That's all. Nothing about the book, but I'm not crying anymore and I'm liking it. So I've been doing a lot of editing and I'm just getting back to reading, and it's like 12:15, you know, past midnight. And I'm 60 pages in, so I read the prologue and the first story, and I just wanted to give you a quick synopsis. So we are following a guy who at the beginning we watch his situation with him adopting this cat, and then we find out that he has to get rid of the cat for some reason. We don't know what that reason is. So he's taking the cat around to different people in his life to see which one would be the best fit for this cat. So I read the first friend that he met with, and then we got some backstory for like him and his relationship with cats, and we're also getting the cat's perspective, which I'm loving. I think it feels very true to cats. Like kind of snarky, and it's a lot of fun. I know this is more of like a heartwarming story, and so far I am enjoying it. I'll probably check in again after 2 more stories, and then at the end I think I'm safe from tears until probably closer to the end, so I'm scared of that, but so far so good. This book, oh my god. Okay, so I am currently on page 176 and I was just crying again, like, oh my god. Nothing specifically happened. The whole time you know why he's having to rehome his cat, but like it's not explicitly said until later. And then when it's officially said, it's just so sad. Literally, I'm just looking at Winston, my cat, and crying. Ugh. So here's the thing, there are certain aspects of this book that I'm loving, and then others that are just fine. We are getting a lot of backstory on our main character's life and like the different people that he's taking the cat to try to see if he will be a good fit there. And I'm not loving those parts as much because I just like don't care. I mean, I do care because I want the cat to go to a good home, but it's just not my favorite part. But then we get the cat's perspective and like seeing their relationship, like seeing the cat like end his feelings towards his human, and then like the the owner's reactions to the cat doing things, like I can't. I still have so much left of this book and I'm already, I don't know if I can do this. Okay, I'm gonna go back to reading. I have finished I'm Not Okay, but also I'm gonna give this book 4 stars instead of 5. I know that I just like sobbed for 20 minutes straight, but I feel like before that I wasn't loving all of the backstory, and this book is a lot of backstory on our main character's life and the couple people that like really made an impact. And like it was good, but I was here for the cat, and I really loved the cat's perspective. There were moments where I was laughing because the cat was really funny, and it just like felt like such cat things to think. But then also like I sobbed forever. But yeah, 4 stars feels right. The thing is, if the things that happened in this book happened in any other book, I'd probably cry at them too. So it's not like the book specifically made me cry, like, you know. So that's the end of this video. I think I read 6 books. I read None of This Is True by Lisa Jewell and gave it 5 stars. I read Starter Villain by John Scalzi, gave that 4 stars. I read Alice in Borderland Volume 7 and gave that 5 stars. I read Strange Sally Diamond and gave that 5 stars. That's 4 things. Then I read Paradise Club and gave that 4 stars, and then at 6 would be The Traveling Cat Chronicles and gave that 4 stars. I had 3 5 stars. Very successful week. Just a reminder, it's not too late to participate in Battleathon, so everything is linked in the description for that. If you're looking to find me in other places on the internet, everything is linked in the description, including my Bookstagram, my Storygraph, and my Patreon. Also, I'm hosting a readathon in October called Halloweekend Readathon. All details for that will be in the description as well. I clearly have been crying for a long time, so I'm gonna go. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, and hope to see you in my next one. Bye!